Well, hello everyone and welcome. I have received my Dahlia Sewciety Bespoke Box and the theme was the Emerald City. So, if you'd like to see what's in it, stay tuned. Well, hello everyone and welcome. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Let me start with what I'm wearing because I never actually ever tell anybody. I am wearing a pair of lander pants in a linen cotton slightly stretched twill. Now it really probably only has 2% stretch in it, and I bought it from May Design when I was there in February. Very comfortable pants, the lander pants of course. And I'm wearing it with a navy blue merino wool Trudy turtleneck and a scarf I think that I bought when I was in KL. But here's the box. Let's have a look and see what's in it. I think I did buy a couple of patterns. So possibly got a few other things in this box as well. Now the theme was the Emerald City, so I bought fusible tape, fabric, labels, a pattern, another pattern, and another pattern. See, I can't even remember what I've bought. Okay, I've got a feeling this fabric's going to be green if it's called the Emerald City. There's a gorgeous green girl on my sticker. Now these are not sewing scissors, these are my paper cutting scissors. Well, one pair anyway. Okay, this will be the other things I purchased, and this will be my Emerald City Bespoke Box contents. Let's have a look and see what's in it. Here's the gorgeous postcard, the Emerald City of Oz. And there's a beautiful little label that says party outfit. Isn't that cute? That's lovely. And another clip. Does anybody use these big clips? I use these big clips quite a bit. Especially if you're wanting something that you need to get it in much deeper than the other clips because it is quite a decent distance in. So we've got the postcard. Oh, and we've got a mint flavoured hot chocolate, and that's by Jarrah, so that'll be delicious. And we've got a scent cake, which is not a cake that you eat, but it's actually a melt. And it's called Spirit of the Orient, soy scent cake, rose water and vanilla. Comes from Lilydale in Victoria. Let's smell it. Oh, it smells beautiful, but then I love rose water. I love rose flavoured things. So that will be really great. A peppermint crisp, and it's not even Christmas. Who else makes pavlovas and puts peppermint crisp on them at Christmas? Because if you weren't going to put peppermint crisp on them, you'd be in serious trouble with your children. some green thread for green fabric, some green buttons. Oh, and that's 8 buttons, 14mm buttons. They're quite nice shirt size. And some beautiful fabric. Look at this fabric. This is lovely. Look at this fabric. It's sort of geometric, but not geometric. What is it? It's 2.5 meters of Euro Visco. And it's 20% off the all-in easy fit shirt by Pattern Emporium, which is my favourite shirt and one I've got cut out again. But I'm thinking shirt dress. Be nice in a shirt dress, or something with a self-tying or elastic in the waist that looks like it's a tie. I'll have to check out what other. So rather than a separate belt, I mean an elastic or a channel fed elastic or tie that goes through the middle of it. I know there's lots of those shirt dresses around, but very, very pretty fabric, and it feels beautiful. This is really soft. There it is in single layer. So it would make a nice shirt, but it would also make a very nice shirt dress. So if we're looking at it like this, it would traditionally and technically, if you were to cut it out on grain and not the opposite to the grain, it would go in this direction. But you know what? You could make a shirt and you could put yoke or inside collar bands or anything like that going in the other direction. You could have some in that direction, some in that direction. It would really look quite effective. Now the one hint I do have, if you're going to cut out, if you've got a check fabric, traditionally a check fabric, or a fabric that's very directional, and you're going to cut out, just say your yoke on the bias, and you're doing 2 yokes because you're going to do it burrito style, I would make sure that the inside yoke is cut out on the straight grain. That way when they're stitched together, it gives you great structure. You've got much more structure if you don't cut out both of them on the bias. So to cut this and give it a different direction, remembering that your shirt would be this way, and if you were cutting out a yoke so that it gave a great effect by being cut the other way, you can see it's got that stretch because that would be the bias. If you cut the underneath one either in a plain fabric, and it depends how much I'm trying to conserve fabric, whether or not I use a piece of lawn or something else I've got there, or cotton to go on the inside, but I would cut out the second yoke that's going to be the inside yoke on the straight grain, and that way it makes your yoke much more structured. I'm just going to have to turn on the light because it's gone dark all of a sudden. Oh, that's better now, I can see. So let's see what we've got. We've got this beautiful fabric. It's gorgeous. I think it quite suits me too. I do love a navy and a green together. So that's actually, oh no, it might be black. Sort of a midnight colour. And the green, and it's not quite white, sort of what would be called paper coloured. Beautiful Euro Visco. Very, very nice. Some thread to go with it. Some Emerald City buttons. Oh, you can see that there when it catches the light. These are beautiful sparkly buttons. They're hemline buttons, so it doesn't say these are beautiful sparkly buttons, but that's what they are. Great shirt size button. A peppermint crisp, and it's not even Christmas. A jar of hot chocolate that's mint flavoured. So obviously it's supposed to be having these two things together. Everybody loves a peppermint crisp. And when I say Christmas, people may not understand what I'm talking about. But if you come from a long line of pavlova makers, which lots of them are in Australia, because pavlovas are Australian people. They're not from New Zealand. They're from Australia, and it was made by a chef in Western Australia for Anna Pavlova, the ballerina. Used to be called meringue cake, and then he made a special one for her and they called it a pavlova. That's where pavlova comes from. And a lovely scented melt that is rose water and vanilla. I might have to put that on soon because I love rose water. A gorgeous postcard for the Emerald City. A lovely label that says party outfit. And a lovely clip, which I do have clips that size. I probably mainly use the clips this size when I'm sewing for other people, and I might make a really big seam allowance, or I'm going to clip it to them when they're trying it on. So rather than pinning it and sticking pins in people, you can clip, and you can clip in, as you can see, much further, so you can clip all the way into there. Very handy, those big clips. Now let's see what else I got. This is my other parcel with a beautiful thank you sticker on it. And a lovely thank you card from Kristen. Peppermint tea bag. A Tim Tam, who doesn't love that? Some made in the country Sarah Hart's labels. I thought I'd better get some. Some of the time I put labels in things, some of the time I don't. Sometimes I put my own labels in. I'll often put labels in so I can tell the back from the front on a pair of things like pajama pants, even though you could hold the crutch, and of course your back crutch is much longer than your front crutch. You don't particularly want to be doing that in the dark when you're trying to get dressed or something like that. So it's easier to put a label on it because if you're in the dark, you can feel it. And I actually bought this pattern to go with this fabric. So that's what I'm going to make up in this gorgeous fabric, which was the deluxe box. The Dolce Vita box from the Dahlia Sewciety. That's what I've decided I was going to make with this pattern. Gee, it's got a lot in it. Very heavy pattern. Let's have a look. The Huguette is the most, I'm thinking that's how you say it. Huguette is the most versatile dress in the Singulier wardrobe. It's a dartless bodice, and it's got 2 different necklines. And by that they mean It's got a V neckline, it's got a round neckline, but it's also got a collar. So I would actually call that 3 different necklines. 3 lengths, so you've got, I think that's a short shirt, a longer shirt, and the dress. And 4 sleeve options. I know the sleeve I was interested in. I was actually interested in this sleeve here. I wonder if they've got a better picture of it. Now, this is the first time I've seen the Cousette patterns have the facings as a completely separate piece. In many of the other ones, it's added onto it already. And like most of their things, it's not terribly much for the beginner or the faint-hearted, because you actually have to really read through the instructions well before you start doing it, because it doesn't show each one sort of individually. Now that was the sleeve I was interested in doing. So it's sort of got a bit of a pinch pleat there on the side of the arm. Oh, there's the 3 lengths. So the 3 lengths is the shirt, is the, what you call like a long top, and the dress. It's all got buttons. I'm sure I did get buttons with that. But it looks like a nice pattern. And I will be looking at the finished measurements of the garment to work out my size. Because I think I usually do an L. Now this goes from an XS, which I'm guessing is an extra small, then a small, then a medium, then an L, then an LL, and then an XL, and an XXL, and an XXXXL. So we've got a bust of 80 centimetres being the smallest and 117 centimetres being the largest. That is not a hugely inclusive size range. 117 centimetre bust is not that big. 117 centimetre is only a 46-inch bust. That's not really, really big. And the hips go from 87 to 124. So they only go to what is nearly 49-inch hips. And it's an intermediate level pattern. As I said, I don't believe that most things I've made in there are not for the faint-hearted, but we shall get there. So that is to go with this fabric. That's what I'd written on my note anyway. And the other thing I got was some bias tape. Does anybody use this? It's not bias tape. It's iron-on interfacing. That's tape, and it's actually got a like a line of stitching through it. It's really, really good to use if you're not going to do stay stitching. So it sort of takes the place of stay stitching. So as you can see, it's got a line of stitching through it. And I had originally been buying mine from Tessuti. Now Tessuti have it with the line of stitching in it or without it. And when I saw that Kristen had it, I thought, oh, I'll just buy it from her. It's easier. I'm already putting an order in. So I bought that, and I do use it in the tops of V-necks, and sometimes I do stay stitching and I put this in as well. So depends how flimsy the fabric is. If it's very, very flimsy, or the V is cut quite right. Now, so some V's are very straight, and so they're the ones that are not so revealing, but other V's start out here in the center of your shoulders and come down in. Well, they've got a lot of bias on them, so I always like to put a piece of tape in there, iron some tape in there, so that it doesn't lose its structural integrity. I still do mainly do stay stitching. Remember, stay stitching goes from your shoulder to your V, from your shoulder to your V, from your shoulder to your center, from your shoulder to your center. So you're always starting at those outside points and going down. Don't ever sew your stay stitching down and then up by pivoting and turning, because you can be stretching out your fabric and then one side is going to be very, very different to the other. My thing's one side of me is very, very different to the other, so I have to make sure that I never do that, because I already have an issue where I need to take up one shoulder more than the other in a lot of V-neck tops that don't have a collar or don't have anything else in them. So that's what that iron-on bias tape is for. I'm guessing, why is it called bias tape? Iron-on bias tape, T12. Yeah, so it's a very, very handy product to have. If you just want to do a little bit of stabilizing. Now, I bought 2 other patterns because I'm eventually going to get a wrap dress that fits me properly, that's a woven one. The knit ones I have no problem with, and so I bought the Elodie wrap dress by Closet Core, and one of the reasons I bought it was because it's got the pleats under the bust. And so the one that I have that has worked out for me, I think it's called Wildwood. Yes, it's the Sew House 7 Wildwood. That is the only success I've ever had with a woven wrap dress. And it's got pleats under the bust. So the problem that I have is that even when it wraps over and looks like it's secure and all those things, after a little while it's just baggy in the front. I don't think I fill it out anymore, and that's the problem. So if it has pleats in it, it's a bit more fitted onto the bust and stays where it's supposed to be. That's the issue I have. It doesn't stay as it is when you wrap it over and tie it up. It's moving. And then I look down and you can see everything. Just really not a good look. And the other one that I thought I would give it a try is the Atelier Jupe Savannah wrap dress. Now this one doesn't have pleats, but it does have bust darts, and it does have darts in the back as well. So I think the top is quite fitted. Although, if you look at the picture of the girl, I am sure right there she's got a pin or a press stud. And as much as I have pinned shirts and tops and dresses and all that sort of thing in the past, I would really love one that I don't have to do that to. I don't know if there is one that I don't have to do that to, but I don't have any, she says I don't have any fabric to do that with. That's just completely untrue. Because you know what? I could get that Emerald City maybe I could get that out of it. Anyway, we shall see. And the other thing I bought was a piece of fabric, an Indian block print, making all that noise, which was a remnant, 1.2 meters. So I actually thought I would make a pair of shorts out of this for summer. I'm sure I can get a pair of shorts out of 1.2. I know I can jiggle around and get a pair of shorts out of 1 meter. Yeah, I'll be able to get a pair of shorts out of that. So, thinking forward to the warm weather, and the sun has just come out again, but it's just tricking us because it is really, really cold in the wind. So it looks sunny and beautiful and the sky's blue, but it's windy and the wind is freezing. So the Atelier Jupe Savannah dress that I don't know what fabric I'll be using yet. The Elodie wrap dress, which I'm using this gorgeous fabric that I can't find the label for. This is a cotton lawn. It's a Lady McElroy sapphire tourmaline. I've got 3 meters of that, so that should be plenty. And I've also got some lining if I need it. So I've just got like some cotton lining if I need to line it. I'm not sure if I'll need to line it or not. Because the colours are darker, quite dark colours, I'm not sure if I need to line it or not. There's probably some of the lighter colour. I'm just not sure if I thought it would hang better if I lined it. So that's why I got that. So that's me for today. Please like and subscribe. I've done no sewing. Okay, I forgot to tell you that. I haven't done any sewing over the last week because I've had my dad staying. Now, Dad's 96. So we had a wonderful time together. Showed him all around our country town and he had a great time. Told me he had a great time. So the only thing I did do was I got some things cut out. I found the shop in the town that I live in. It's only got 2,500 people here. There's a craft shop and they sell Gutermann thread. How good's that? So I am making the Pattern Emporium all in easy fit shirt, which was the shirt pattern that I could get 20% off for the Emerald City fabric. I am making this in this gorgeous fabric, which was the Matisse fabric. So I am making a shirt, but I have cut it longer. So this is where it usually goes to. So I've cut it longer, I've cut it straight, and I'm going to have splits. Now this is the back because so I'm going to have it slightly longer at the back than it is at the front. Because somebody said, oh, you know, you were worried about your being able to see your undies through your white linen pants. Why don't you make a shirt out of this Matisse fabric and make it long enough so that you won't be able to see like where your undies are. And I thought, what a great idea. So thank you to my viewer who suggested that, and that is what I have cut out of that. I have cut out, whoops, the Tessuti Robe in the Indian block print for my daughter Abby. And I have cut out the Vetiver top in the Pretty Woman fabric. So I've got those things ready to sew. Now I've got the Elodie wrap dress pattern and the Cousette Huguette, we're going to call it that, Huguette pattern, which I'm going to be making up in my Dolce Vita fabric. And I'm going to do this fancy pleat sleeve. I wonder if it's the same pattern piece. I wonder. You know how some pattern pieces are multi-purpose? It's a straight sleeve, butterfly sleeve, or box pleat sleeve. Oh no, they are separate pieces. So I can see straight sleeve is piece number 8, butterfly sleeve is piece number 9, and box pleat is piece number 10. So they are all separate pattern pieces. It's not a multi-purpose, which is why the pattern is so thick, I guess. But yeah, looking forward to making that. Not sure what fabric I'm going to use to make that up. I could use that green and black. I could use this fabric. And I might do calico toiles of this, especially this one. Because this has got side darts. So what is traditionally called a bust dart here. And it's got the back darts. I think you could get a really good fit on that, even if you do have to put a press stud there to stop it from... I think sometimes when you sit down you can just see inside things. Like if you've got your buttons on your shirt not in exactly the right spot, how you can see inside your shirt. Just that sort of thing. But interesting to make that. So I've got some things cut and ready to go. That's it from me. I will talk to you all soon. Everybody have a great week. Please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll get some sewing done this week. Bye.